People will say it's too early. People will say I'm crazy. People will say, yo, you're just speaking too soon. You can give the manager of the year award to Flick, bro. The job this man has done with Barcelona is just so impressive, massively impressive, phenomenal job. This guy is absolutely having a season to talk about, whether it's the Champions League, which they have 9 points in already, or it's La Liga and what they did to Real Madrid and what they're doing in La Liga without spending a lot of money. This Barcelona team needs to be talked about. And more importantly, what he has turned RAPHINHA into, the monster he has created in RAPHINHA, this needs to be studied because RAPHINHA is a completely different player under Flick. He is phenomenal. What he's getting out of Lewandowski, what he's getting out of this team is just something to really, really admire as a football fan, right? As I don't care if you like Real Madrid, I don't care if you like Barcelona. As a football fan, you have to admire what he has turned this team into. RAPHINHA scores again. Lewandowski scores 2 goals as well. So it's just been a really incredible job from Flick and what he's done with this team. So if you give him manager of the year already, if you give it to him, drop it to him, throw it to him, I wouldn't even be mad because this guy has just a phenomenal job. By the way, with the team that's under financial issues, a team that can't really afford to go buy the players they want, a team that went through a situation with Victor Roque where they thought they had their backup striker or they thought they had a starting striker and then he doesn't even work out and then he has to go away and then he has problems with Deco and then this happens and that happens and this whole thing is kind of a mess for Barcelona. You're going into the season not knowing what you're going to get. You're going into the season knowing that Mbappe just signed for Real Madrid, and then you get to the season, and they're the team to talk about. Another manager that could be up for manager of the year, but he's leaving Sporting, Ruben Amorim. I know a lot of people won't give him credit because it's Portugal, but they're seeing what he's doing in the Champions League with Gyökeres. It's unreal, but he won't get the credit he deserves. Now he's leaving and going to Manchester United in a week, so we'll see how that goes. But end of the day, what Barcelona is achieving and what they are doing, I think surprises every single football fan in the world. And I know you're a Barca fan, or if you're a Barca fan watching this, being like, I knew. No, you didn't. None of us did. I don't care. You could have believed because you are a fan of Barca and you're a fan of that club and you understand what that club means. But did you think coming into the season that Flick was going to have you guys in first place in La Liga and absolutely annihilate a Real Madrid with Mbappe? Did you think that you were going to go into the Champions League and be performing the way you're performing in the Champions League? Did you think that this team was going to have RAPHINHA scoring like, I don't even know the numbers exactly, but it's probably like in 14 games, 10 goals, I don't know, something wild like that? Did you think that Lewandowski was going to be dropping 2-3 goals a game? I don't think any of us saw this coming after what we saw from Barcelona last year. But the truth is, I came into this season thinking that this was going to be the Lamine Yamal story. Everybody was going to be talking about Lamine Yamal, and everybody should still be talking about him. He's a phenomenal player. But the truth is, RAPHINHA has stepped up to the plate. Lewandowski has stepped up to the plate, where I don't even look at Barcelona. I don't even know, when I looked at Barcelona back in the day, I could be, oh, that's Messi's team. I don't even know whose team this is because they're performing so well as a team, as a unit, as a club, that it's not just one man carrying, it's all of them combined effort to make them absolutely a phenomenal team. So it's really, really awesome to see the transformation of Barcelona from one season to another. And it's crazy to see the transformation in the complete opposite way for Arsenal. I'll quickly jump to Arsenal real quick, a team I really want to talk about because Arsenal fans, can you tell me what the hell is wrong with Arsenal? What the hell is wrong? What happened? They lose to Inter today, 1-0. They're also in 5th place in the Premier League, now only with 18 points. And in the Champions League, although they're having an okay campaign, they're on 7 points after 4 matches, down in 12th place. And listen, a lot needs to be said because there's a lot of teams with 6 points. Bayern Munich, who just beat Benfica, who's on 6 points. AC Milan, Real Madrid, Atletico Madrid. PSG is only on 4 points. There's a lot of teams that no one expected to be here, but they are. And there's a lot of teams that aren't in a good position. And there's teams that a lot of people didn't think would be where they are, right? Brest is in 4th. Sporting's in 2nd. Aston Villa's in 8th. Alantia's in 9th. there's a lot of teams where you know, even Bayer Leverkusen being in 13th, you would think that they were in like the top 5 with how much of a season they had last year. But there's been so many flip-flops of teams this year. Like, I didn't expect this from Arsenal. I didn't expect Bayer Leverkusen to be not as great as they were last year. I thought Bayer Leverkusen would get better. I'll jump to my Benfica to speak really quickly. Benfica had 6 points. We really performed very badly against Feyenoord, where everyone thought that after beating Atletico Madrid 4-0, that if we get points against Feyenoord, having 7 points or 9 points going into this Bayern game, this game wouldn't have been as important. We could have just played it how we wanted to. Unfortunately, we lost to Feyenoord, which then makes you have to go to Germany and try to get points. So what do? We go into a 5-back system that we never play. We go into a real defensive shell that we never do, and we try to get points at Bayern. And we almost did. Musiala scores around the 70th minute, and Benfica just try to hold on, try to play a real negative game, and get out of Bayern Munich with a point, which they always lose in Germany, especially there. So they tried, they didn't get it. It's going to make the rest of this Champions League campaign a little bit difficult for Benfica. Benfica's always had, in my opinion, a very, very difficult campaign in the Champions League. I think they got a little bit unlucky with the draw. Do I think they can come out of it now? It's going to be very difficult. Their next game is against Monaco, who's done all right in the Champions League. Then they play an Italian side. And we play Barcelona and Juve towards the end. So it's very tough. The next 2 games are must-win games. You have to beat Monaco. And again, Monaco is a team that is very, very good. But I think 9 points should get you pretty close to making playoffs. Right now, I think as it stands, I think the 19 teams go to the playoffs. I think. So Benfica would be in the playoffs. I'm not 100% sure on that, so don't quote me. Benfica has a tough task, man. Monaco has 10 points, by the way. Monaco is one of the better teams in the Champions League, and we got to go face them coming up, you know? And I think for me, the one bright side of looking at Barcelona is if Barcelona win their next 2 games before we face them, they might not need points in the Champions League. And they might put a different lineup out against Benfica, which that I think could start to happen towards the back end of the games, depending on where your standings are and if you're already out of the group. So it all depends on how the Champions League plays out, but it's going to be tough. It's going to be real tough for Benfica to pull this off. I'm a little bit sad, but at the same time, you know, it's a tough season for Benfica, the transition of a manager so quickly and all that, like, because we fired our manager. So, yeah, it sucks, dude. But I definitely think we should have went to Bayern and tried to get more than a point. I think we should have just played it the way we played it. Whatever happens, happens. But at the end of the day, you don't want to go to Bayern and lose 8-0 and then goal difference starts to matter. Losing 1-0 in Germany is all right, you know what I'm saying? But they had to do better against Feyenoord, man. They really messed that one up. But, yeah, man, that's how I see this Champions League today. It was one where, honestly, there's so many impressive things. Like, this Brest team's really impressing me. Barcelona has surprised me so much. They're incredible of a team. They're just playing such good football, and I don't see it stopping. So it's going to be a real fun season to watch the rest of Barcelona, and it's going to be a real fun season to watch the rest of Real Madrid to see if they can get their stuff together and compete against this Barcelona team. Because if Real Madrid keeps going the way they're going, man, Real Madrid might really start to fall behind in La Liga, and La Liga might be over before you know it, and it might become real tough for Real Madrid to catch this Barca team, because this Barca team is absolutely phenomenal, man. Hey, I hope you guys enjoyed this little video real quick, man. I appreciate y'all, man. Champions League was very, very fun. Unfortunately, Bayern cooked us, so it wasn't that fun for me.